Hey y'all, welcome to I got my heart broken and decided to make a podcast. Yay, the crowd goes crazy. I'm back with another episode. Z the certified yapper is yapping it again. Okay, so I hope you're good. But I just want to say today's episode is a little, I'm not gonna say it's heavy, but it definitely makes you like reflect a lot. And I say that because the topics had me reflecting on myself a lot and me reflecting on like just my life and what I had going on a lot. You feel me? So I am saying all of this to say in today's episode, we will be discussing I guess being male centered or relationship centered, and then also like what it means to have low self esteem and like how that shows up. Um So haven't really done this in previous episodes, but a lot of people do discuss like, being male centered and this and that, but they don't necessarily give definitions, they just give examples. And being male centered is actually more complex than I think we think. Um and I'll tell you what made me come to this conclusion and then I'll provide you with the definition. Um or what it made me want to like think about this. So I was seeing a lot of like, TikTok. I've seen them for years, but I've been seeing a lot of like TikToks and tweets about, just how the male-centered woman will always drop you for their person, for their man, or they're always out to seek male approval. And I don't have that. I'm not a male-centered woman, but I was like, if I liked men, would I be a male-centered woman? Because I find that when I'm in a relationship or when I really like somebody, I do it for the girls. For the girls and for the girls and for the girls. So that's where also like, relationship centered came in, and I was just like, damn. I know in the past like I've been a better girlfriend than I was a friend. And now I think it's the same. I think I am an amazing friend, and I am also an amazing ass girlfriend, an amazing ass lover. And now I'm like just displaying my duality and I'm exploring it. And even when it comes to like my family and stuff, I've definitely grown so much. Like now I just show up as a lover to everybody. Like before, the only place that I felt comfortable enough to show up as a lover was in relationships. So yeah, just to give you all that background, that is how I came to the conclusion that I came to. So to be male centered basically is prioritizing like a masculine or male's perspective, and that's like the default or that's the norm. That's just like, I guess, my definition of it. And my understanding is just prioritizing is prioritizing a man's approval subconsciously. Um and this comes from like either this comes from like social media, societal expectations, or even like, your culture. So if you do find that you are someone like this definition or even my example kind of just made you think like, damn, I'm kind of male centered, don't be so harsh on yourself. Like, should it be like that for real? You live and you learn. That's the point of life. You're supposed to be on a journey and you're supposed to constantly be evolving. Everybody doesn't have your life experience. Everybody doesn't. I mean, there's people that have your culture, but nobody has, your exact life experience. So I just think offer yourself some grace. You feel me? Um, so to be relationship centered, I thought like relationship centered was kind of the same thing, and in a way, yes, it is the same thing as being male centered, but it's a little bit deeper, I think, than being male centered. This is something maybe I could touch on in a later episode about just relationships being your entire identity, because so many of us experience that at a young age. At least I can say that. I kind of experienced that and I've gone through that when it comes to just my own personal identity. So to be relationship centered, it's kind of just letting your romantic relationship serve as like the place where you feel the most worthy, where you feel, my perspective is just where you feel the most you. Um, and yeah, and like how some people they get into relationships and they just, their relationships are their purpose to live. Their relationships are their will to live. They didn't have a will to live before their relationship. So when they no longer have the relationship, they no longer have the will to live. And that's not healthy at all. 0 stars. I don't recommend even operating like that. Like, your relationship should not be your number one motivator to be a better person. It shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't. Um you're a whole, you like, before you really get with somebody, you should be a whole person by yourself. And I'm learning what a whole person is in my journey. And I'm not gonna lie, I know I was saying that I need to heal and I need to do this, I need to do that before I get back out there. But I actually don't. I know what I want. Y'all listen to that episode. So I mean, this is months later. I don't mm, I don't want to move on. I can move on, but I don't want to. Like, I found who I wanted and I want you. So I don't want to. And it's not like I don't think that I will find love again or nothing like that. I just don't want to. But if I meet somebody, but I'm starting to understand some of my therapy sessions from months ago. Like, I'm open to loving. Like, even this most recent person that, the liar, like, I'm okay that I loved her with my whole being. It took me a while to just get okay with that. And yeah, but I'm okay with the fact that I did love her with my whole being. And I was so emotional and it was such a big deal for me. I'm okay with that because maybe she needed that love. And not even like on no cocky stuff, but maybe that's what she needed. And it's like, I wasn't half of myself. I wasn't, pretending to be somebody I wasn't. I loved with my whole heart. I'm a person that loves with their whole heart every time. It's why I get, which is why, like, when things go crazy, like, it's why I be feeling sad. It's why I be feeling the damn emotions that come with it. But I just think it's okay. It's okay. I think, like, just because somebody pushed you off the bike before, that don't mean you can't get back on another bike. That don't mean, that was a terrible analogy. Just because, somebody hurt you, that doesn't mean the next person's going to hurt you. And it's like, pain makes you grow as a person, as a soul, as a being. We're here to love, and that's everybody's issue. Everybody, not everybody, but like, I at least I feel like our society, like, we have that issue. We literally, we don't love enough. Why are you not loving your people? Love is free. Genuine love is free. And maybe we don't, our society, and I'm speaking just from the United States and just the culture here. And I'm also not even really just speaking from the United States, I'm speaking from a black woman's perspective, a black queer woman's perspective. And I just say queer because, like, I could say I'm a lesbian, but it's like I go to Pride. I do the extra shit. So I just say a black queer woman's perspective. You feel me? But I'm speaking from a black queer woman's perspective in the sense of, the bottom line, the issue with our world is we don't know how to love. The reason why it be wars is because of a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be dominant. Everybody wants to be right. People be acting out of ego. People in power, that's their issue. They move from ego. Fuckers, you operating out of ego for, nigga. Not even nigga. Let me get on some professional stuff. Human, if I slice your arm open right now, your blood is gonna be red. If I slice your arm open right now, like, like, and you slice my arm open right now, you're gonna see the same. the same like bones and shit. You're gonna see the same veins. We are all one and the same. And I know, okay, if you know me, this is some crazy shit to admit, bro, on a fucking podcast, but fuck it. We're being raw, we're being vulnerable. If you know me in real life, you know that I say I don't like white people. And I don't, but I don't like operate in that in life with that generalization. I don't dislike all white people. I don't like when I say I don't like white people, I don't like entitled white people. That's the people I don't like. If you a cool ass, my godmom is white. You feel me? My like, I don't really give a fuck about the color of your skin. If we're gonna be honest, because that shit doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Um, Now if I woke up white, I would be pissed the fuck off. But bro, on some real shit, I don't care about what your race is. If you are a good person, like, we could vibe, we could be cool. The reason why so many black people, if we gonna like, like, I guess, dissect this thing for real, the reason why so many black people feel the way that they do towards white people is because the media, and not even just the media, but like their own life experience. Like, we gotta keep it a buck. Like, it's more hateful white people than there are loving white people. But the loving white people do exist. I give y'all. I ain't gonna say I give y'all props, because that's how the fuck you supposed to be. It's like giving a dad his props for showing up. I'm just saying. Um, I just I don't think we know how to love. And I think that's what the journey of life is coming back to. And I think that's what, like, like a couple years ago, like, the spiritual girls were like, well, not even like, they still do this, but the spiritual girls are like, oh, I'm on a higher vibration than you. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The basis of every spiritual practice, religious practice, is love. I learned that shit very early on. Every single religion, they practice the same shit, different fonts, different language. It's all love. God is love. And you truly have to understand what love is. Love is what we actually are. Like, as people, that's who we are. When you exit the womb, you're very loving, and you let the world scar you instead of just letting it heal you. You know what I'm saying? I say, like, somebody's gonna hurt your feelings, somebody's gonna do something you don't like, but you can't dwell in that. And if you choose to dwell in that, then you don't know how to, then you start to forget how to operate out of love. Little kids are so loving, they're so forgiving, and maybe more people need to spend more time with kids. But kids are so pure. And the reason why they're pure is because they're fresh, they're straight from the spirit. You feel me? Like, they're new. Some of them be old souls, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have that life experience yet, that human life experience yet, to taint their view on love, because that's the bottom line is love. I don't know how I started talking about love and male-centeredness, but yeah, I don't know how the fuck I got here. I ain't gonna lie. But nah, I think because we have a different definition of, because we have, everybody has a different definition of love, and we've allowed in our society men to be considered superior. I think that's also how a lot of people, end up basing their self-worth through relationships, and just a relationship is um feeling like a relationship is just everything that they need, when it's not. But I get it, because if you didn't have love in the home, your heart and your soul, you're by default, you're always craving love. And until you have certain life experiences, you might be looking for love in all the wrong places. You feel me? So it's just it's just that. Um and that's kind of how we pivot into the next the next portion of this episode, which is low self-esteem. I see a lot of tweets that say, or it's a lot of tweets, it's a lot of videos. They be like, oh, so bitch always in a relationship. But for niggas, you always in a relationship, they have low self-esteem. I disagree. I disagree. Low self-esteem is a diminished sense of one's personal value that often leads to them seeking external approval. Which that also ties into, like, relationship centeredness. I don't I don't even know if I fully agree with like low self-esteem. I mean, yeah, sure, but I think if you're old, like me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have low self-esteem. Um, I don't. And even when I'm like hard on myself or I'm this and I'm that, that's because I expect greatness out of myself. But on some real shit, dog, I am always in a relationship, but like I know how to be single. Like I know how to not be bothered when I don't want to be bothered. But I don't have to be single. And it's not even like I'm single right now. But I'm saying like, oh, I don't have to like spend so much of my life being single, so much of my life like healing and being fucking um I don't know, alone. Like you don't have to live like that. I think that's how people be falling for that trap and staying single for the rest of their goddamn on life because literally um that's just how people be falling for that trap. Because in my opinion, you I don't know, you should just love. Like I'm not gonna lie. I done got my feelings hurt. I done did all of that. And like let's say the love of my life is not the love of my life and I have to move on, right? Then that's fine. Like it's not the end of the world. I will still love the next girl with my whole entire heart, my whole entire being. Um, and like, let's say that doesn't work out. That's okay. I'm gonna feel my emotions. I'm gonna, process it. But like, it doesn't take forever to process your emotions. Doesn't like, and if it takes you years to get over someone, that's not healthy. I don't think that's healthy. For it to take you like unless and okay, it depends on like the situation. Like if you were abused, cool. But like just a regular like it shouldn't take you that long. I think if it takes you years, it's because you didn't process your emotions, you didn't take the time to like and so I don't know, everybody processes at a different speed, but I don't think you being single for a couple months or being single for a month or being single shit how like as long as you process your emotions and you understand where you're coming from, I don't see a problem with you always being in a relationship as long as you took the proper precautions. And when I say like the proper precautions, like you sat in your emotions, you felt your emotions, you held space for your emotions, then you move on. Not like you didn't sit in your emotions, you didn't hold space for your emotions, you didn't move. um you didn't really like move. Yeah, you didn't move through those emotions. So then you met somebody else and mm, they made you feel they filled that void of that person. If you got somebody filling a void, yeah, you might have low self-esteem. But if you like just are you just a bitch that just got hella love to give because you just a loving ass motherfucker, then I don't think that means that you inherently have low self-esteem. Who am I to say that, oh, you have low self esteem because you just want to keep loving and loving and loving? I disagree with the claims. You have low self esteem if you're always in a relationship. No, because I think God, like, created us to be loving. And one of the most transformative ways to be loving, one of the most healing ways to be loving is romantic. And I'm not saying that's the only place you should be loving. And I think maybe because I think at one point in time, yes, I did have low self esteem. But I think where I am now, man, shawty, say nah. But I think where I am now, I know, I know, like, I know that I have love in other areas of my life. I know that romantic love is not the only place that I'm going to receive love. And maybe that's why I can just, okay, hurt my feelings and then I'm just ready to get back on it. Because I'm not going to lie, my feelings were hurt. Like 2 weeks ago, I was really, really hurt. And I cried myself to sleep. We'll just leave it at that, right? And I didn't cry myself to sleep. I just cried and then I went to sleep. But I sat in my emotions and I felt my emotions and I held space for myself and I talked about it when I needed to talk about it. And I vented in my notes when into ChatGPT when I needed to do that. And I'm over it. And now the situation that I'm in now, it's like, okay, I feel how I felt and I felt how I felt and I reacted how I did. But it's like, okay, I don't think that's enough grounds for me to leave you alone because it was a miscommunication. And maybe because I'm on this freaking journey of, man, everything can be understood. Even like the craziest shit. I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes shit is just very surface level. Like serial killers, I want to understand them. If you want to know like more about me and just shit that I be thinking about, I want to get my PhD. And I don't know what it exactly will be, but it'll be something of like African American history or African history, like that. It'll be something along those lines because I really want to understand nowadays serial killers and then also the white people that were picking a nigger and eating around them. Because I personally, an animal, even if okay, y'all viewing black people as animals, I can't eat around no damn bugs, not no bugs, no damn fucking chicken's fucking head cut off and just enjoy my meal. I can't do that. So the fact that y'all were doing that to real fucking humans, it's wild. What's wrong with your brain? Why? I want to understand why. Seeking to understand why, seeking to just sit in that. Why the fuck do you operate like that? It'll get you places. I ain't gonna lie. It will. I'm not gonna lie, so much shit that am I breaking out bad? Sorry, it's off topic like a motherfucker. This you see, we should feel like we on FaceTime. Just saying. Anyway, shit. I'm starting to understand like a lot of things that my therapist was saying to me months ago and it's starting to just click. She was like, you know, to like love and shit like that, you kind of got to be able to sit in people's emotions to genuinely be there for somebody. If you don't have the capacity to sit in your emotions, then and sit in the uncomfortableness with them, then you ain't finna get nowhere. And I understand now what the hell she meant. I ain't get it in the moment, but I get it now. Like, man, sit with your emotions so you could be a better lover. And I think the bottom line of all of this, whether you got low self-esteem, high self-esteem, bitch, just spread love. Because if you spread unconditional, true, real love, you will find real peace. And you know, I guess the quote unquote loss of any love won't break you. I done been there. And I be talking and like people don't be seeing my journey or knowing my journey for real to be like, oh, she just thinks she all this and she just thinks she better than everybody. No, the fuck I don't. If you think that I think I'm better than you, that's insane. And you need to go see a therapist and you need to go work on that shit by yourself. Not against me, because I didn't do shit to you. If I give you some advice or I tell you some real ass shit like, yo, this shit ain't even like this shit ain't even, no for real type John to be, tripping over. Like, life is about love, so you choosing to not operate from a place of love is just shit just gonna fuck you up. I ain't even gonna lie. Shit just gonna fuck you up. And you're not gonna get nowhere. You're not gonna achieve your mission. Everybody's like basic fucking purpose is to love. You know what I'm saying? You know how people like, life too short, life too short. Yeah, so if you got that mentality, oh, life too short, then you need to spread love. Even in anger, you need to spread love. And I'm not saying like don't sit with your emotions. I ain't saying like don't. Yeah, I'm not saying don't sit with your emotions or like don't feel how you feel and let people just do you all types of crazy. No, nigga, boundaries still need to exist, but just spread love. You might have fucked somebody else. You might have changed the trajectory of their motherfucking life. if you just spread love, if you just show what genuine love is. And shit, evil is gonna be evil regardless. The natives, they spread love to the colonizers. Them motherfuckers, them colonizers, just fucking evil as shit. So yeah, they evil kind of won, but I don't think they winning no more. If everybody, like, you let evil win, you let the people win when you choose to stop spreading love, when you choose to just conform to what they have going on. Why are you conforming? Why are you letting evil win? So I'm about to wrap this shit up. All in all, if you think you have a low self-esteem, and or you find that you are somebody that is always in a relationship, ask yourself, why are you seeking outside? Like, what about this person is making you feel so loved? Because I know for me, like, that's really what changed the shit. I knew that there was love in other places. I knew if I lost this love that I have with this person, I'm okay. Because at the end of the day, I still have love in my life. Now, you're in a fucked up situation. You only feel love because of this relationship. Okay, let's find you other sources of love. Let's find you a community. Let's find you real friends. And I think having real friends, having real people that really know you, and this is some shit I really just came up on this year, like analyzing wise. I've been had these friends, but I really understood it. You just you really just need some real people to show you real love. And hey, if you don't got friends, I would say go to church, because their basis is supposed to be love, but every church ain't good. And if you already damaged, I ain't trying to damage you even more. But shit, even fuck it, find a therapist, because bro, it take a lot to just sit there and listen to somebody's problems. Like, to just listen, and in the moment, whether they love you after the session or not, in the moment they have to sit there with some sense of love. But that's love for you as a patient, which is very unlikely, probably unethical. Well, maybe, kind of, could blur the lines. Or love for the art of healing. So you just need to surround yourself with people that are love. And listen, if you don't even have that, watch videos about love, read books about love, because books and shit like that, it'll always tell you, yo, you really do know how to love. You really aren't the problem. This is the problem. And this is how you can combat the problem. This is how you can go from point A to point B, and you can change the trajectory of your life. Yeah. I don't know. That was a lot to say, but that was everything and more. The bottom line is, if Billy Bob Joe thinks, if you want to get into a million relationships, after you process your emotions, go ahead and get into a million relationships. If you wanna, I don't know, you, yeah, if you want to get into a million relationships, get into a million relationships. Do whatever makes you feel the most happy, but you do got to sit there and process your emotions. If you only have one source of love, you got to evaluate that. You got to figure out why you have that. You got to be open to receiving other sources of love, because those other sources are what's going to help you get through losing this one source of love. And really, I don't think you ever lose love, because love is an energy. And as we all know, energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. So it just transformed into a different way, into a different, yeah, it's just a different form now. So if it's real love, it never goes away. That's my TED Talk today. I hope you guys got something from it. This one, I actually really do hope people got something from it. If you didn't, hey, this wasn't meant for you, and that's shit. That's okay. Yeah. Hope I'm continuing to find my target audience, and I hope you had a great day. Yeah, that's really it. Follow me on my socials. It's on the description box. learn a little bit more about me. Check out some of my work because I'm not just a fucking podcaster, babe. I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer. Niggas soon gonna be a musician. That's a goal. Niggas need to learn how to fucking play some motherfucking music. I'm telling you, I'm finna be all over this shit. I'm finna learn how to draw all types of shit. I ain't gonna lie. Art. I ain't, you know, everybody ain't an artist, and then that's a real thing. Everybody is not a motherfucking artist, but art connects us all. So art tells our stories. Art gives us language. The shit we don't have language for. Art is a form of unconditional love. All right, y'all. Bye.